Let me turn to Syria. Define the new policy that you're articulating with respect to Syria, and why now?
I'm not sure you can characterize this as a new policy. This is consistent with the policy that I've had throughout. Remember how this evolved, right? The president of Syria, Assad, was presented with peaceful protesters in the wake of the Arab Spring. He responded with violence and suppression, and that has continued to escalate. And the United States has humanitarian interest in the region. We've seen at least 100,000 people slaughtered inside of Syria, many of them women, children, innocent civilians. And the United States always has an interest in preventing that kind of bloodshed when possible. We have a regional interest because we now have, for example, more than 500,000 Syrian refugees in neighboring Jordan. Jordan, a strong ally of ours. We do not want to see Jordan destabilized as a consequence of what's happening in Syria. We're also seeing Iraq affected, Lebanon obviously affected. So we have a regional interest. And finally, we've got a direct interest when it comes to chemical weapons. We've got a strong taboo that's been established in the international community against using weapons of mass destruction, including chemical weapons. And what developed over several months was high confidence that the Assad regime had used chemical weapons. And I had been very clear that if we saw the use of chemical weapons taking place by the regime inside of Syria, that would change my calculus, and it has. Now, in terms of what my goals are, the goals are a stable, non-sectarian, representative Syrian government that is addressing the needs of its people through political processes and peaceful processes. We're not taking sides in a religious war between Shia and Sunni. Really, what we're trying to do is take sides against extremists of all sorts and in favor of people who are in favor of moderation, tolerance, representative government, and over the long term, stability and prosperity for the people of Syria. And so my goal, we've been supporting an opposition. We've been trying to help the opposition, along with our international partners, help the opposition become more cohesive. We've been assisting not only the political opposition, but also the military opposition. So there's a counterweight that can potentially lead to political negotiations. With the evidence of chemical weapons, what we've said is we're going to ramp up that assistance. And my hope continues to be, however, that we resolve this through some sort of political transition. But what's been clear is that Assad, at this point, in part because of his support from Iran and from Russia, believes that he does not have to engage in a political transition, believes that he can continue to simply violently suppress over half of the population. And as long as he's got that mindset, it's going to be very difficult to resolve the situation there.